Hello everybody, welcome back to BareRose Garage. What are we doing today? Well, you know the old saying, one step closer is 6 steps back. Well, that's kind of what happened. You remember from my live Saturday, she fired. This old Mercury, she fired up and she idled out really good, but notice there at the end that she was smoking a little on the driver's side. Well, I had degreased the engine before and I knew that there was a little bit of oil on the exhaust, so I didn't really pay too much attention about it, but I logged it into my noodle. Well, I crawled under there and yep, there was fresh oil there. And you seen from my short I just put up, I traced that oil all the way up to the back of the manifold. That's right, this manifold is leaking. And it's the dreaded Ford FE. The worst manifold of all of them to try to pull or change. And I'll take you along for the ride here and show you how to change one of these monster nasty intake jobs. This ain't no Chevy, this ain't no Chrysler, this is, yeah, as Uncle Tony says, embrace the suck. Anyway, I know what's going on. It still has the factory Ford gaskets on the China rails. Well, after this many heat cycles, it's eventually pushed them out, which it does anyway. You never ever use those. But I got my intake gasket in and I'll show you what they look like. This is the intake gasket set, pretty simple, and it comes with the distributor gasket, kind of nice. But it also comes with the infamous ones you never use. Throw those away. Got that. And I got valve cover gaskets. Why? Why would you use valve cover gaskets to do an intake job, right? Well, yeah, if it's a Chevy or a Chrysler, you don't have to buy them. You can just undo it. Unfortunately, on an FE, the intake is actually half of the head. Yeah, sounds really weird, but it's true. Here, I'll show you, and I'll probably do some speed ups and stuff like that because this sucks. And we're gonna do it inside the car because I'm not pulling this motor. I've only got what, about 14 days left, so I got to get this show on the road. So you can see here, I've already undone everything. I pulled the distributor. Now before I pulled the distributor, I bumped it over until the rotor was pointing straight at my temperature sending unit right there. That way I can drop it right back in time. Then I went through, I undid everything that I could undo. This, I'm going to try to do it with the fuel line in there. That's a pain in the butt, but actually I have never done one like this. I've always done it on the stand. But I remember seeing my dad do it, and I remember all the bad words Dad was saying as he was doing it. So let's give it a shot. Let's see what we can come up with. Got all the hoses, everything is undone. You can see I've taken all the bolts out. These FEs, they're a little different on the manifold bolts. There's a secret to them. I'll show it to you when I reinstall it. But I pulled them all out. All the valve covers. So let's just jump right in and I'll show you how to part one, remove an FE intake gasket or intake manifold while it's still in the car. First things first, get the valve covers off. And it's got these nice little lips right here that make it real easy. Now you see me prying, but I'm not prying hard. I just want it to break loose. And it looks like these have actually been changed. It wasn't leaking around the valve covers. And you notice there, she is spit shined clean. I cleaned everything again, and cleaned it again. I don't want any dirt or anything falling down in here. Give it a pop and a pull. Woohoo! Just had some condensation in there. That's from when I pressure washed it. Got water on it. We'll just kind of clean them up a little bit. And I'm going to change the oil again in it, so I'm not really too worried about any of this. Ease that off. Right now I just have some Pennzoil 1030 in it just so I can get it running and that. Let it flush itself out. And then I got some Shell Rotella that I'm going to put back in it. Don't need that little vacuum hose there. And that guy is right in the way. Okay. And we'll set that guy right there. She came off really nice. Come on, come on. Yep, somebody replaced these with premiums. Freshly done too. There we go. Okay, we got the valve covers all off. Now for the break your back time. I'm gonna need to get the big pry bar out. Let's see, right there. She's free. Now I'm not pulling it yet, I'm just separating it. And she's ready. Okay, then let's get this set up. Now, I don't know if you've seen that, but you see the intake manifold on these FEs. You can see they come clear back here. It's actually part of the head. Your push rods all go through the intake manifold. Now, I have to make sure all of these go back into the same hole that they came out of. And again, this little bit of water is from when I pressure washed it. So I'm not too worried about any of that. And I'll change it again, and then I'll check her out again. Make sure she ain't got a blown head gasket. Which I'm sure she don't. Yeah, Scooby Scoop. 9/16. Yeah, you Chrysler guys will know exactly what I'm looking at here. That's an awful lot of water. I'm a little concerned. Doesn't smell like antifreeze though. Okay, now I'll just follow my same method you've seen me do on the 460. So I can ensure I get them all back in the same hole. Number one. Got a lot of sludge on her. Notice how I'm holding it here? This is the top. A lot of sludge. Again, that's from a combination of things. Non-detergent oil, You know, the oils back then didn't have all the cleaning properties of the ones nowadays. And a stuck choke will cause that too. Okay, before I forget here, going down the line. Number 2. Ew, yep, pretty nasty. Okay, everybody, welcome back here. I done got her all. I went ahead and pulled the carburetor because it just makes it easier. I pulled all the push rods. You seen how I was numbering them and all that, and I just went ahead and went down the other side. So I got her all ready, and I also went ahead and pulled all of the rocker shaft, just making things easy. Try to get as much out of the way as possible. Cleaned it up a little. Now, here goes the suck part. That thing weighs a ton. Here we go, here we go. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and put these back on there so I don't lose them. I love cars of this era. You can just climb right in if you need to. We'll just stick these suckers on here like so. Then I'll move this stuff. LB Bruin, there's your pink slip. And I'll just set that right there. I think you kind of get the idea of what I'm about to do. And once you know it, I got too much sweat in my crotch. I can't spread my legs out. God dang it. One of the disadvantages of working in the heat. Your pants fall down. Okay, here we go. Just like this. Just like this. Ooh, she's pretty sludged up down there. Lots of sludge. I got some cleaning to do. Holy cow, this thing is heavy. We're still all right. Okay, ease her on out of there. I don't know if you're getting much of this. Now I'll let her balance right there. Nothing like wrestling a 150-pound pig in a confined area. I don't know if it's 150 pounds, but it sure feels like it's 300. Okay. Rest her on my knee. Up on my pant leg. And this is where I usually break a phone. Oh, God, that's heavy. And there you go. She's out of there. And I'm beat. Whew. That took everything I had. That sucker easy. Oh, easy weighs. I'd say 100 pounds probably. It's just real awkward how you got to get in there. And I'll take you in here as soon as I get this Ford goo off my hands and show you around on the oddities of these FEs. Let me get my hands cleaned here. Oh, good God, that hurt. And sure enough, it spit that gasket completely out, and that's exactly what it was. It was factory gaskets. Ugh. Son of a gun. Whew. I've never worked on a 426 or 429 Hemi for, I can't even think. But I'll tell you what, FEs make you work for it. Whew. Anyway, here I'll get my arms to work. Here is the oddities. You can see the heads on them on an FE are tiny. They're the weirdest looking little things. They're only half there. That's because the intake manifold actually comes clear out here, and it's the other half of the head where it wraps around. And you can see it's been run with non-detergent oil, and she's idled a lot. That comes from the carburetor running rich, and just it's probably just loped and idled all the way around. You can see on the back there where it spit that gasket clear out, and it was just shoving the water right straight out. Now when I was pressure washing it, I was trying to pressure wash over there. What it was doing is it was blowing the water right in here, and that's what picked this stuff up. I know it's not a blown head gasket because I got no steam, and before, I did do a compression test on it, and she's got good compression. I wrote it down somewhere, but I forget where I wrote it down, and right now I'm talking kind of goofy because that beat me up. I'm just going to go out and say it. It did flat kick my ass, that intake manifold did. So now I'll pull the valley tray up here, and then I'll clean out inside of here, get it all cleaned up, and get it ready for the new intake gasket. That one tore. Whew. You got water jackets on both ends, just like normal. You got jacket there, jacket there, jacket there, jacket there. This is your exhaust crossovers. They're tiny. They're just these little teeny tiny little exhaust ports. And you can see how carboned up it was. Yeah, this car just idled its whole life, I can tell. And nobody ever just blew it out. I will, but yeah, she's going to take some severe cleaning. But actually, you get into them like this and you think, oh my God, look at this. Oh, what are we going to do? It's actually not bad. I'll run it a couple of times. I'll probably change oil again while I'm in Sikeston. I'm going to run this oil, well, this oil that's in it now, I'm just going to dump right straight back out. It was just sacrificial oil. That's why I put the Pennzoil in it. I hate Pennzoil. Just run it long enough to cycle everything. Then I'm draining it back out, and I'll put my Rotella in it. I'll run that all the way to Sikeston. I'll change oil again in Sikeston, change the filter, and then head home. But actually, she looks really good. You can see here, still got the paint on them and everything. They clean up really good. I think she's gonna but I'm actually kind of glad I caught that too, because she would have just poured oil out of there. And like I say, you can see on the gasket there, that wasn't because I pulled it over. When I crawled over there and stuck my finger down across there, I could feel it. The reason I didn't notice it on the drive home was because there was so much crud up in there that it kind of sort of sealed it. But when I pressure washed it, it left that big old gaping hole in the back, and she's just been puking oil. So I'm gonna get back on this and get her all buttoned up. The next one you see, I'll be setting the intake. Now for that one, I'm gonna use a cherry picker, because you gotta be dead nuts precise when you set them straight back down. And there's a whole procedure to these FEs. You don't just slap them on like a Chevy and just start bolting them down. The distributor is actually part of it. You gotta set them in. You gotta line up the bolts. There's a secret on the bolts you gotta do too. And then you use the distributor to lock it into place. Craziest thing? Yeah, I know. But that's the life of an FE. So that'll do it up for tonight. I'm gonna button it up, and next thing you see will be either installing it, or I'll do a video of watching me clean it up. I don't know, we'll figure something out. In the meantime, get out there and get some metal hot, and we'll catch you on the next one. Whew, man, FEs, whew. This should be called an FHE, freaking heavy.